Look, you and I are made up of cells. The cells are in the intercellular fluid. You and I are 85% water. 96% in infancy, 70% when the range sets in. In this range, biochemistry doesn't work. Comes the no, we all eat a certain amount of food, from the beginning to the end of our lives. We drink water, bile is produced, and enzymes are produced naturally, until we're 25. What are enzymes? Enzymes are a protein molecule, vitamin or mineral are attached to it, or both together. Are vitamins and minerals necessary? People usually say, yes, they are. Why? Useful. Useful so that there will be a building material for enzymes. Without enzymes, right here in this area nothing happens, nothing connects, moves, separates, digests, nothing. If enzymes are missing or have low activity, all body reactions slow down by a factor of 10 million. And when you and I have all this happening, our food is broken down to very small parts from the small intestine, it gets into the blood, it goes straight to the cell. The cell is fed, it's doing well. This is the picture to remember. This is the picture of health. How it looks originally, how it should be for many, many years. That's what academician Pavlov was talking about. If a person died before 150, he died a violent death. Now that's the picture of health. As we age, do we still eat and drink? Yes, we do. We drink less water, bile thickens as well. There are fewer enzymes after the age of 25. A high-protein diet is not for us, we replace it with potatoes and pasta. Vitamins, minerals are not in the subject because why spend money on a crap, people think. The result is, that food is no longer broken down like this, it's broken down like this. And when this piece goes here, in the cell, it gets stuck here. Why is there a membrane? He'd be happy to go back through the intestines, but he's not getting into the intestines on this side either. Why? Because there's the same membrane, same size. Where does this nasty stuff accumulate? It's right here. The entire intercellular space is clogged. On ultrasound, we see darkening in the area of different organs. It goes by many names, intercellular debris, toxins, everyone calls it differently, that is not the point. The point is that this nasty stuff, it builds up and it gets in the way. The body is not stupid, it won't drink that stuff. He pushes it out in all different ways. There aren't very many gates. The first gate is the lungs. Pushes here, and it's coughing, all that stuff. The second gate is the lymph. It is tonsillitis and laryngitis, inflammation of the lymph nodes. And the third gate, the widest, is the skin and mucous membranes. Pushes it over here, then we have eczema over there. If it's pushed in there, boils inside, it's different boils. If nothing boils, there is no inflammation, it is pushed to the skin, every woman has here on her thighs she can feel. And a belt after 40 folds around a woman's waist. If a woman's waist is over 80 centimeters, you should sound the alarm. In men, 95 centimeters, we need to sound the alarm. And that's the area where you and I have 30,000 diseases piling up. It's pretty much all chronicled. That's what the doctors at the university deal with. 6 years they've been studying this, what it looks like, body temperature, white blood cell count, blah, 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 skin, iris. They study all this, spend 6 years of their lives on it, and we don't need to study those things, in fact. Why? Because we just need to get back to that picture of health. In the Ayurveda, in ancient Indian medicine, this 30,000 group of diseases are called diseases of ignorance. Why? Because it is the disease of not knowing, the disease of ignorance. People were not aware of this original picture. If they had known about it, this would never have happened to them. These diseases, a group of diseases, their cause is enzymopathy, that's what doctors, scientists call it. It is not the only cause of all diseases, but it is the cause of the largest group of diseases. Hormones and antibodies are present, but there are few diseases. What do we do with this? I mean, this whole moment, there's some news, good and bad. The bad news is that there are only 2 natural products in the world that have an enzyme composition identical to our human one. The first is wild honey. And the second one is aloe vera barbadensis Miller. This is the kind of plant that grows in the desert 2 by 2 healthy. When it falls on its side, it is pulled out of the ground with the root, it lies on the ground without water, without nourishment, without anyone, and it lives. And reproduces for 2 more years. At this point her enzyme composition undergoes exactly the same changes as our pregnant woman, there is a change in enzyme composition. When she gets pregnant and starts carrying the baby. Scientists noticed it, not yesterday, it's been known for a long time. Wild honey, as they say, it was when John the Baptist who ate acrid and wild honey. It's all described in the Bible, in Tanakh it's described in the Quran. About these plants, about wild honey, all this has been described for a long time. Let's say, it was not yesterday that a person learned about it. Second point, it's about detox, cleansing this intercellular fluid. It's a very complex topic and it's very hard to do really. There are several ways in which you can get rid of this nastiness, and almost all of them are uncomfortable. The first is a marathon. That's 42 kilometers of running. It's gonna take a run every 3 months for it to burn out. And the second thing is, starving. Starting 1 month and more, not everyone can take it either. The marathon, the fasting, is given under a doctor's care, roughly speaking. Otherwise, you can get your flippers stuck on one or the other. A person could just die stupidly. And the third way to get rid of this nasty stuff is aloe vera barbadensis Miller. Why? Because in this case, she's behaving the same way she did in this case. Not as a plant, but as an animal. I am still in doubt that this is a plant, because she's acting like an animal. She goes where the muck is, where the smell is, literally like a normal dog. She's here picking things up and pushing them out, just like the body does. Intestines, lungs, lymph, skin, mucous membranes. Some are lucky through the intestines, some are unlucky, like me, for example, through the lungs, through the skin it got out of me. But it's a more comfortable way than marathon and fasting. I wasn't ready for either. Third point. You and I are in the era of going out of antibiotics. Any doctor at any neighborhood health clinic will tell you that antibiotics don't work now. 3 to 5 per course, and it doesn't work. And in this regard, there is only one way out of this situation. All medics, all scientists, all doctors talk about it. It is immunomodulation. That is, the normalization of one's own immune system. Lowering the high, raising the low. Normalization. 2 natural, powerful immunomodulators only exist in the world. The first is colostrum, which is cow's milk. The second is aloe vera barbadensis Miller. Why? Because when she is lying in the desert, fallen on her side, without water, without roots, without nourishment, without anyone, giving birth to her offspring, at that moment no nasty thing will cling to her. She'll survive, her children will survive. It can live in the cold, in the dark, without water, without roots. No sickness will bring her down. The kids will survive, they'll be fine. Immunity is at that level. She'll be fine. That's the most important thing. The result, 3 global human problems. Enzymopathy, identity, and bioavailability of enzymes, closed. Detox, closed. Immunomodulation, closed. 3 holes with 1 punch. We close the 3 holes of the most global human problems that exist, but we close them in one blow. We don't need 25 bottles, 25 cans. 1 1-liter bottle is enough for us. We only need to select the manufacturer.